Hello, I'm Shannon. This is the Vocal Podcast, and thank you for tuning in. The main difference between humans and animals is that humans have the need to want more, to explore. We understand that the world is bigger than us and we want to see more from it. We even created science to explore it more. We created philosophy to understand it more. As humans, we don't know what the world is, how it began, or anything like that. We might have an idea or a belief, but there is no clear evidence to show what we are aiming towards. But the point is that we have the ability to create that aim for ourselves. When coming to uni, a lot of people reach a crossroads. They kind of stop relying on their parents on simple things like making sure they get to school on time, cooking breakfast every Sunday, having a family dinner. You have a lot of freedom. So freedom is when you don't have those same familiar faces, you don't have those foundations that have been set up for you, being in the same environment every day, seeing the same faces, having that routine. It's when it gets stripped away and you realise that I'm actually on my own in this world. Like, nobody is actually going to be there to tell me to get up and do what I need to do. For a lot of people, their environment shapes them and makes them them. So when the environment is taken away and these things are not there, you have this almost empty space. This emptiness is referred to in philosophy as existential dread. For me personally, I'd always had someone there, whether it be family, friends, to kind of look out for me, to tell me that, yeah, I'm kind of going through what you went through. But when that all gets stripped away, it's important to understand that it's normal. It's a normal human instinct to reach that rock bottom. For me, I know that a lot of people have experienced this familiar feeling of like emptiness, of not knowing what they're supposed to be doing every day. I understand that it's a very common thing, and I feel it's important to talk about because when I've gone through it, it felt very alien to me. I had never experienced anything like that before. So this kind of crossroads as well, it's not even just been experienced by everyone that I know. I've noticed that it pops up in a lot of popular TV shows and a lot of pop culture today. Hitting a rock bottom, we look at characters like the Joker, we look at characters like Rick from Rick and Morty. They both live their lives as if we do things just leading up until death. If that sounds a bit depressing, but it's kind of shown by the Joker's values not to really have any values in life. Like the fact he went in the latest Joker, he went on national TV, he shot someone in the face, sorry, spoiler alert, and he felt no qualms. No, he laughed and went back to do whatever he was going to do. So, that is the kind of thing that is called nihilism. So that is what a nihilist believes, that, we live for the now, you're going to die one day, do whatever you want, there's no consequences, go ahead. So this nihilism is one way of looking at life, how some people choose to build up their foundations, Another way to look at it is something called existentialism. I kind of mentioned this concept in my other podcast. A lot of people came to me like, what's this word, what's this this concept? So I'm going to break it down for you now. So the first concept that existentialists have is that they don't know truth. They don't know what's real, what's not real. They don't know what's good, what's bad. Everything is grey, and there's no way of ever knowing. So therefore, in this world, you have to kind of make your own truths. And this concept doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a higher power or that there is one. It just kind of says that right now in this very moment, nobody is telling you what to do. And nobody is going to tell you what to do. It's up to you to kind of create your own universe. And with that, there is no truth and there is no absolute false. There is only what you make and think. The concept of existentialism first came from this guy called Kierkegaard. And he basically was just a very, very sad guy. He just didn't really have much of a feeling for life. He was just like, what's the point of this all? He was just, It wasn't until later in the 19th century when existentialism itself actually came around and they took this guy's ideas and they realised that, yeah, we don't know anything, but we can make something from nothing. This kind of renders a question like, why is it so hard to find purpose? Like, why do some people spend years of their lives, people become monks, people go, and they never find purpose ever? The answer to that is that it takes a certain level of uncomfortability for some people to realize what they want to do. It takes a lot of people to like strip down all their foundations and to get to a place of dread, like real angst, real rock bottom basically. And then they have to take this and build it back up and make them who they are. There are literally so many anxieties surrounded by this, like the fear of not being accepted, the fear of not liking your authentic self, who you really are. There's just so many things that can stop you from being this way. And finding out who you are and what your most authentic self is in itself is hard because there's so many distractions from society. So literally, purpose in this world is accepting the truths, the untruths, the things that you know that you don't know, and understanding that you are literally the center of your own universe. And when I say that, I say it with vim, with energy, I say it like you literally have all the power in the world to do what you want with your life. And nobody can tell you otherwise because nobody else is going to live it. I don't mean this to sound like a self-help video, but this was the first philosophical concept that I really listened to and that I really felt resonated with me. It started me looking into more about it and understanding what philosophy was. It's really like helped me to kind of just find out what I wanted out of life, who I wanted to be, the kind of person that I already am, all these kind of things. Thank you guys so much for listening to my podcast. I hope you kind of picked something up from it or enjoyed something I said or agreed or even disagreed. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say or think about what I said. Also, my next podcast will have a guest where we will be talking about his experiences with authenticity. He is a good friend of mine. He grew up in Iraq. And he's just going to be talking about his experiences coming from such a different culture to come to the UK and what it's been like trying to be an authentic Iraqi boy in the UK. Thanks again for listening to this podcast. Please like, subscribe, please don't just watch it and don't do nothing. Just give me some feedback if you don't like it, Thank you so much.